Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. I'm doing a review today of an older movie. It's my first ever viewer request for a review. This was requested by Aaron P. Cully and he wanted me to review the 2005 movie White Noise starring Michael Keaton. Now this is one I have seen before, but we all know on this channel what Lisa's memory is like, so I was keen to give it another watch. And I watched it a couple of evenings ago, so let's talk about 2005 White Noise.
It is one thing to contact the dead. It is another thing to meddle, and you are meddling.
Now this movie is directed by Jeffrey Sachs. It is one I remember really being keen to see back in the day when it came out. It's no secret I'm a little bit of a fan of the paranormal, of anything to do with ghosty wosties. Yes, I am a believer in my naivete, I hear a lot of you say. This movie is very much based around the phenomenon of EVP, which is electronic voice phenomenon, whatever it is, we know what we're saying, EVPs. So, white noise is the stage that when you put your telly onto what we would call static, back in the day, if you're old enough, you will remember that it got to a certain time in the evening, 12 o'clock maybe, early hours of the morning, and the TV would just stop. In America, you would get the national anthem. I don't think we ever got that here, but it would just cut and we would get static, as sort of shown in movies like Poltergeist, where Carol Ann can see they're here when that's on the screen. So this is what the movie is kind of about. It's about that state of white noise, but used in a visual, but more so in a audible phenomena. So Michael Keaton is married, very happily married. His wife is a successful author. At the beginning of the movie, she's going out in the car. I think she's going away for some PR for her job as an author, maybe some PR for her most recent book. Now this is not a spoiler, guys. It's the beginning of the movie. It's what the entire movie is about. His wife does not return. His wife passes. She has an accident, and this movie is about him discovering EVP, the phenomenon where he can actually hear his wife's voice. Now his character is not at all that kind of person. He does not believe in this tomfoolery, this silliness, but he is approached by a gentleman that says that he has heard his wife's voice. He is able to tell him things about him that he shouldn't really be aware of, that he shouldn't know. And Michael Keaton's character, I think he isn't entirely convinced still, but he goes and he listens to what this guy has captured on recording, and it is unmistakably his dead wife's voice that this guy has managed to capture. Now he shows him how he does it, he shows him the entire technique, he shows him the catalogues of different voice phenomena he has filed from different people, and this sets Michael Keaton's character off on just this. Obviously, you've just lost your wife. He's desperate to speak to her, to communicate with her, so he sets off on trying to communicate with his wife. And that opens the doors to all kinds of nastiness, shall we say. Not everyone that's passed over is someone you're going to want to talk to, and when you open that channel, as with Ouija boards, you are going to get things coming through that really you shouldn't be messing with. So that's the basic premise of the movie. We follow his search for his wife, to talk to her again, and on the way he is contacted by other people who perhaps need help. I don't want to tell you any more than that. This obviously, when it was released, is something I was intensely interested in. I watch all of those silly ghosty programs. I very much am a believer that there is more than this earth, that when we pass, I know a lot of you think, Lisa, you're talking out your arse. It's just something I'm really, really interested in. I'm willing to sort of be proven either way. I'm not one of these die-hard people, but EVP and that sort of thing I find just fascinating. So this was obviously a movie I was going to want to watch. I did really enjoy it. Michael Keaton is fabulous, as he always is, although later he did admit to the director, he apologised. He says he did phone in some of his performance. He wasn't on the top of his game for this movie. I feel he was really good in it personally. There are some other people in here. We've got Deborah Kara Unger, Ian McNeice. I'm not going to list, you can check on IMDb, guys. This is one to watch if you're interested in the phenomenon. It is a very well made movie, it's well put together, but for me, I feel that it went too far. Maybe because I'm so interested in the phenomena, and even just getting a voice from the other side to me is spooky enough, is enough to keep me completely intrigued. I don't need bells and whistles. I don't need more to happen. I don't need to be able to visualize things, which is also something that happens in this, which they kind of touch on in Poltergeist with Carol Ann, where we see a hand come out of the screen, or we kind of see the shape of Carol Ann's face at one point. I don't feel they needed that as much as was in this movie. And they do add another aspect to the movie where he is seeing the faces and voices, hearing the voices of people that have not yet passed with warnings. Now that is something I wouldn't have put into the movie. I don't feel it was required. If you're interested in EVP and you do believe in that kind of thing, or you want, like me, to believe in that kind of thing, it didn't make any sense with how things work. You're not going to get an EVP from a person that is still alive. That would not happen. The visualization that is shown is a bit too much for my liking. Although the effects are fantastic in this, and where it goes is like bells and whistles. It's like loads happen at the end of this movie. For me personally, it didn't need where it went. It was too much. I would have liked to have just concentrated on the electronic voice phenomena, on him maybe, fair enough, contacting other people or hearing from other people that maybe had messages and wanted to pass things on to loved ones. Things like that would have been really interesting. I think about movies like Stir of Echoes, where if you haven't seen Stir of Echoes, guys, get on it, it's amazing. It came out at a similar sort of time to The Sixth Sense, but I think Stir of Echoes is a much better movie. But in Stir of Echoes, there is a girl that is passed and she is trying to get a message to Kevin Bacon's character. She is trying to show him what happened to her, how she died. And if they had have went with that kind of thing in this, people that have passed are trying to contact Michael Keaton because he has learned from this other guy how to contact the other side, that would have been enough for me. I don't need to see things. I don't need weird stuff to happen at the end. I did enjoy the movie. I just felt it was too much and it didn't need quite as much as it showed us. It went off track a bit. I think EVP is enough. We don't need to add things to that. Or have we become such a sort of like, can we not pay attention so much that they need to just throw everything at it and, you know, oh, effects, have this, have that, because this on its own is not enough. But for me, it was enough. So yeah, I really enjoyed the movie. Would have preferred it not to go quite as far as it did. If I had to rate White Noise out of 10, I would come in at a 6. It was enjoyable, but they concentrated too much on the wrong thing, in my opinion, and they completely dispelled the science behind it, and went with something that just couldn't happen. You know, you're saying, Lisa, EVP can't happen. Some of us like to believe it can. So yeah, that is my review of Michael Keaton's White Noise from 2005. Thank you so much for the request. If you have any requests for me to watch and review movies, guys, I'm very happy to do it. Just let me know below in the comments. I'm off to get about 6 videos recorded today that I need to get done. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Over and out from Lisa Lives.